So the Miami Heat are down bad right now, and I know that's not shocking. I know it's not breaking news. For the last couple of months, they're either getting blown out or blowing a double-digit lead or just completely collapsing in the fourth quarter altogether. And that includes last night versus the Detroit Pistons, where the Miami Heat got their 9th straight loss. But the thing that was frustrating about that game is I feel like Bam Adebayo played pretty well. Tyler Hero, same thing. But yet they still seem to collapse in the fourth quarter. And truthfully, on paper, I don't think this roster is great, but I don't think they're 9 straight losses in a row bad. But for some reason, they completely lose their composure every time the game gets into clutch time, and that's what I want to look at in today's video, where we're going to break down the last 3.5 minutes of the Heat game versus the Pistons. So I want to start right here, where the Miami Heat are up 1 with 3.5 minutes to go. The Heat just called a timeout, and the reason that I want to highlight this specific play is because all season, Coach Spoelstra's ATOs or after timeout plays have been terrible. They never seem to score, which truthfully is the sign of a bad coach. I'm not saying Spoelstra is a bad coach. I don't think he should be fired, but he is having a terrible season. So you look at this play right here where the Heat come after the timeout, and what you want to note is they immediately go into this sort of pick and roll, which I like to see. I do like that they're using Khalil Ware more, especially in the fourth quarter, which we didn't see a lot earlier in the season. But Khalil Ware is going to kind of set a soft screen on a Sir Thompson about right here. He's going to slip the screen and roll to the rim, and Tyler Hero, you see all the space that Khalil Ware has right here. Tyler Hero is going to attempt this lob pass, and truthfully, it's just a terrible pass which sails all the way over Khalil Ware's head. Now, I guess I just got on Spoelstra a little bit, but this really isn't Spoelstra's fault. This is just a terrible pass by Tyler Hero. But I do like that they at least tried to go into a pick and roll action here. Now, fortunately for the Heat, Asar Thompson catches it out of bounds, so the Heat are going to get the ball back. And this is the possession that the Heat run after it. You see right here, they have Davion Mitchell inbounding the ball. The Heat are still up 1 with just under 3.5 minutes to go. And look at the action they run. It's going to be a Duncan Robinson highly contested fadeaway in the corner that he play off piece, meaning he hits the side of the backboard, top of the backboard. I guess I should give him credit because, look, he hits this ball right at the vertex, which you have to try to hit a shot right there. That's you know how hard it is to hit that exact shot of the backboard? It's just an awful shot. And what I want to note here is there's 11 seconds left on the shot clock. Bam Adebayo and Tyler Hero, keep an eye on him. They're backpedaling towards half court because they're trying to give Davion Mitchell some space in case he has to do an over-the-top pass to them to avoid a 5-second violation. So they're all the way out of half court here. Bam Adebayo is actually out of frame. Tyler Hero is now out of frame. But for some reason, Duncan Robinson feels the need to shoot this heavily contested corner fadeaway 3, which has no prayer in hell to go in. And there's 5 Pistons here and 3 Heat players, meaning that you don't have Bam Adebayo there for a potential offensive rebound opportunity. You don't have Tyler Hero as even a threat on this offensive possession because they're completely out of frame. And in this case, I don't think it's their fault because, like I said, they're trying to give Davion some space here to force an inbounds pass to them if he needs to. Why Duncan Robinson caught this ball and thought he had enough space, this is a play you run when there's a second left on the shot clock. There's 11 seconds here. There's no reason for this terrible shot by Duncan Robinson, and they absolutely deserve to miss it like they did. Now, the ensuing defense possession, Asar Thompson tries to attack Tyler Hero. He loses the ball. I do applaud Tyler Hero's effort to get to the ground here, but obviously Asar Thompson is more athletic. He gets to the ball first, and I think the Heat do a decent job rotating here, and that does force the Pistons into the turnover. We'll kind of watch it one more time here so you can see what happens. Bam Adebayo is out here on Tim Hardaway Jr., but he's such a great defender. He's kind of able to guard both of these guys here, Tim Hardaway and Asar Thompson. That's why when he sees the loose ball, he also gets down in there, tries to get the ball, but Asar makes a great play. He gets it to Harris in the corner. You see Duncan Robinson closing out. He was guarding both guys, Tim Hardaway and Tobias, so he does a great job closing out to Tobias Harris. You're going to see Davion Mitchell right here now run out to Tim Hardaway Jr., and then Bam Adebayo makes his great read and is going to run out to Cade Cunningham. Khalil Ware is here. He's in a low stance. He's active, and he's going to reach his arm out right here, which forces Tim Hardaway to throw the ball behind Asar Thompson's hands, and that's going to start the fast break for the Miami Heat. But because it's a fast break for the Miami Heat, of course they're not going to finish it because they've been terrible at that for a few years. Truthfully, I don't want to nitpick this part of the play too much because I think it's more so just a great defensive play by Cade Cunningham than anything. Not only does he get the block, but he also keeps it in bounds. But you're not really supposed to have the ball hit the ground this many times. Once Davion gets the ball, he dribbles 1, 2, 3 times. And by the time the ball is actually released from his hand right here, there's not a lot of space between Davion and Duncan and Bam Adebayo, which makes it a little bit easier for Cade Cunningham to guard both these guys. If I want to nitpick, I probably would have liked it if Davion Mitchell would have gave the ball to Duncan Robinson right here. And then Duncan would have gave it back to Davion. Maybe Davion could have gave it to Bam. And you just kind of want to keep Cade Cunningham guessing where the ball is at. But in this case, he really only has to make one read. But he does make an incredible block to block Duncan and then save the ball in bounce. But the ensuing defensive possession, you got to give Duncan Robinson credit because as you can see here, he does a great job hustling back. Ware and Tyler Hero, they're in great defensive position as well. I love their effort getting back after the turnover. And Duncan Robinson, thank God he has active hands and gets a hand on this. Otherwise, Tim Hardaway would have been wide open. But here's the problem. The Heat now have another chance to get a 2-possession or make it a 2-possession lead, make it a 3-point game or a 4-point game. And Tyler Hero has the ball. He's going to be guarded by Asir Thompson right here. And this is not great spacing because if you start the clip right here, Davion Mitchell's on this side of the court, maybe 5 feet from him. Bam Adebayo is right here. And Tyler Hero is just going to drive into all of them where there's theoretically 3 defenders that can contest. Now, this is a bit of a defensive breakdown for the Pistons because Asar thinks that Cade is going to switch right here, but Cade just kind of sits on it, meaning that Tyler Hero has a relatively open look here, although Jalen Duran is like 7 feet tall, so it is a bit of a difficult closeout. But I don't think this is the worst shot by Tyler Hero just because, like I said, this is a defensive breakdown by the Detroit Pistons. But at the end of the day, there was zero passing this offensive possession. Remember, that started right here where Duncan Robinson got the steal. Tyler Hero has the ball. There's 23 seconds on the shot clock. Skip forward to the next frame. 16 seconds on the shot clock, Tyler Hero still has the ball. There has been no passes to this point. So to have a possession in clutch time this late in the game with no ball movement, that's not a good shot. Yes, it was a defensive breakdown. That's why I said it's not the worst shot from Tyler Hero, but that's not a good shot. And he even has to do a step back here, which is not easy as it is because now we step back. His momentum is going a little bit backwards. And Tyler Hero has been shooting the ball very bad from 3 over like the last 30 games or so. So that's not a good shot by Tyler Hero. Back-to-back wasted offensive possessions. And now on the ensuing defensive possession, you're going to see Khalil Ware here on Jalen Duran with the ball. Tyler Hero's on Tim Hardaway. Now, Davion Mitchell's on Cade Cunningham. That's what you want. That's why they call him off-night Davion. He's a great defender. No matter how great he is on defense and how hard he tries, he's still small. You match him up on a guy like Cade Cunningham, who is 6'6", 200-something pounds of muscle. He's just going to be able to back Davion down right there. And he gives him this little shoulder and pushes Davion back enough that by the time Cade goes up, Davion's in no position to guard this, meaning that Khalil Ware now has to leave Jalen Duran open on the backside to try to contest the shot, which means that once Cade misses, Duran is right there for the rebound. So I don't really blame Khalil Ware for this. I think he had to help. Usually I would say don't help a guy like Davion, who's such an elite defender. But in this case, Davion just gets bodied right here. He really does. And I think Khalil Ware had to help. I mean, yeah. And I applaud Khalil Ware too because he does do a nice job with the second jump. There's 1 jump. There's 2 jumps. He jumps right away, so it is good effort on the rebound. But Jalen Duran is just such an excellent rebounder. Khalil Ware's not going to be able to get that. So at this point, the Pistons finally take the lead. There's now about 2 minutes to go. Tyler Hero has the ball. There's already been over 12 seconds wasted on the shot clock. Still haven't gotten into no actions here. But Tyler Hero sees that Jalen Duran is coming up pretty highly on this play. And what he's going to notice here is that Bam has Tim Hardaway on him. I don't think that there's any way that Hero could have really got Bam the ball here, although he has a mismatch. It is a bit of a difficult angle. But what should have happened here is once Duncan kind of sets this slip screen here and Tyler reads the drop coverage by Jalen Duran here to get Bam the ball, is Bam has all of this space, 8 feet of space to either pull the mid-range jump shot or Jalen Duran is going to be running out to contest him, and then Bam Adebayo can blow past him. But instead what Bam does is he doesn't even look at the rim. he catches the ball and immediately turns his head to go into the dribble handoff with Tyler Hero, which I don't like. I want to see Bam Adebayo be more aggressive in this spot of the game, and they constantly spam this dribble handoff time and time again. Now, I will say, I think they end up getting some good ball movement out of it, especially for it being late in the shot clock, because they are going to run the dribble handoff. Tyler Hero is going to do a nice pick and roll, or I guess he had Bam on the pick and roll, but instead swings it to Khalil Ware in the corner. And this is a left-hand pass, too. That is a hell of a pass from Tyler Hero. I will give him credit for that. Now, Khalil Ware, this is a good idea on the inbounds pass. It looks right here like Bam Adebayo might have Jalen Duren sealed, but it's a little bit too low for a guy in Bam Adebayo who's 6'9", and it's a little bit of a soft bounce pass. If you're going to bounce it, which I agree with in the spot because Tobias Harris, he's playing active hands there. You want to try to bounce it to get it under him. You got to do it harder. This is just too soft to pass, so Bam's seal is basically worthless at this point because Jalen Duren is able just to reach right around and knock it out of bounds off of Bam Adebayo. So while it's decent ball movement here, I don't think the pass by Khalil Ware is terrible, but if I had to blame someone for this part of the possession, I probably would say that's on Ware he needs to be a little bit stronger on that pass there. But he's a rookie, he'll learn. I'm not trying to get on him too hard for that. But here we go. Pistons up 1 with the ball about 2 minutes ago. Davion Mitchell's going to be guarding Cade. That's what you want to see. But then Jalen Duren is going to set the screen, and every time the Pistons got the matchup they wanted with these screens, this time Cade was going to be matched up with Khalil Ware, who I actually think does a decent job here staying with Cade, so I give Ware a ton of credit for that. He forces Cade into a difficult look here. He has to kind of scoop it high off the backboard to get over the outreached arm of Khalil Ware. But because the Pistons got the switch they want, it doesn't matter that Khalil Ware got the stop, because here's Jalen Duren matched up with Davion Mitchell here in the paint. And obviously, Jalen Duren is way bigger than Davion Mitchell, so he's able to tip this pass over Bam Adebayo, and it goes right into Asar Thompson here. Now, if you were wondering where Bam Adebayo is at, to start the possession, Bam Adebayo is guarding Tobias Harris because Harris is their 4 at this point of the game. So Bam's doing a good job making sure that's, he's guarding Harris in the corner while also helping Khalil Ware on Cade's drive if he needs to. Same thing we talked about earlier. Bam's an active defender. He's quick enough to be able to guard both of these guys at once. But as Cade drives to the right side, well, Bam has to keep an eye on Tobias Harris. He's not in the paint at all here. So even when this shot goes up, Bam is not in great position just because he was still keeping an eye on Tobias Harris out on this side. So I don't think this is Bam's fault here. I think it's a case of Davion Mitchell being small and the Heat switching way earlier on than they should have, because this play was lost right here. Because as soon as Khalil Ware switched onto Cade, that's when Jalen Duren is being guarded by Davion Mitchell, and the rest of the play was screwed from there. Because Bam is not in great rebounding position. He still does great effort to even get a hand on this ball, but Jalen Duren was there first, and he was being guarded by Davion Mitchell, like we said, right here. Look at this. How's Davion supposed to get this rebound? He's sealed completely on Jalen Duren's back. But then obviously the Pistons would end up getting the rebound here. And then I think this might be the one that they still turn over because Duncan is he's manning up, chest to chest. But Bam Adebayo, once again, doesn't really have to guard Asar Thompson out here because he's not a great shooter. That's why Bam's able to completely leave him, and he times this strip perfectly to take the ball from Tobias Harris and get the ball back. Now you got Bam starting the break. He's going to have Jalen Duren on him in the post. And look who's coming around once again for a dribble handoff. He uses the Duncan screen. Tyler's coming there for the dribble handoff. But this was a great move by Tyler. A couple things that I like about this more than the one where Tyler Hero missed is, one, Tyler Hero went to the mid-range here. He didn't do that step back to get off balance to get to the three-point line like he did in the previous possession. And also, he uses the pump fake to set his feet. On that last three-pointer that he bricked in the corner, like we just said, he was doing a step back. He was fading back a little bit. This one, he gets to the mid-range, sets his feet beautifully, and then knocks it down. I thought this was a great play from Tyler Hero to get to that more of his comfortable spot in the mid-range where he's been playing so well, instead of the three-point range where he really hasn't been playing well. So this will put the Heat up 1 with about a minute to go. And then this time, it looks like that's, is that Asar that's missing? Who's 5? Oh, no, that's Malik Beasley. Malik Beasley is missing the 3. It looks like the clip is cut off, but it looks like Davion gets a nice contest here. But now you have Khalil Ware boxing out Jalen Duren. Because remember, the Pistons got like 3 straight offensive rebounds. So This is what happened on this one. Khalil Ware does have Duran boxed out, but Duran's going to give him a little bit of a push in the back right there. And honestly, is it an offensive foul? Maybe. It's never going to get called, though. The truth of the matter is, though, Khalil Ware is just too skinny at this stage of his career. So even though he is boxing out, he's getting low to provide that leverage. He's too skinny as he gets thrown completely off his spot, which goes to Jalen Duran. Cade Cunningham's going to hit the three. And Tyler Hero needs to do a better job here because he's sitting here in rebounding position in case the ball gets tipped. He's there to grab the ball. But once Duran gets the ball, Tyler Hero is standing here. What is he going to do? There's Ware here. Bam's coming to help. Duncan's here. Tyler Hero does not need to be right here. He needs to be looking where the hell Cade Cunningham is at to go back out to him. And for like a full second to a second and a half, which is all it takes in this league, Tyler Hero is standing there completely out of position, not even making any effort to run out to Cade Cunningham as the Pistons now take a 2-point lead with under a minute to go. Right here, Tyler Hero needed to sprint back out to Cade Cunningham. And he just sits there in the paint. This is a bad defensive breakdown from Hero in this spot as Cade's going to go ahead and take the lead. Now, Heat ball down by 2, 47 seconds to go. The spacing on this one is okay because I say okay because Khalil Ware is still standing in the paint. So Tobias Harris kind of cuts off Bam's left side driving lane if he wanted to go to the left. But I still think this is an okay shot from Bam just because it's in his wheelhouse. He's been hitting the mid-range shot at a great clip of late. And he's not super far away. You can argue, hey, why are we settling for mid-range fadeaway twos late in the game? I trust Bam with that shot. I really do. I much prefer this than any of the threes that they've been forcing. It sort of goes in and out from Bam and about. That's just bad luck at this point. But I like the aggressiveness by Bam. I'm not going to get on Bam for not being aggressive and then get on him when he actually takes a shot late in the game. I'm cool with that. He just didn't get it to fall. So now the Pistons are up 2 with about 35 seconds to go. And I had to record this part on my phone because the clip from NBA.com was cut out. But I had to start from the beginning here because this is another great example of the Pistons getting exactly what they want. Davion Mitchell is out here on Cade Cunningham. But with a simple screen that you'll see coming up, with a simple screen right here that you'll see, who's that? Malik Beasley setting the screen. They get Tyler Hero on it right away. So it basically renders Davion Mitchell and his great defense useless because the Heat switch so quickly. And I don't know why the Heat would switch this with Davion being as elite as getting over screens as he is. And he does it all the time. Every game he draws an offensive foul on the other team because they're moving the screen because Davion is fighting over it. But in this case, Davion doesn't do it. I feel like there's plenty of space on this side to try to get over the screen. But instead, they make no effort. Cade Cunningham gets matched up with Tyler Hero, sees it like baby food, immediately walks right into the paint. Look where he started a second ago, 30 feet from the hoop. And within 2 seconds, he's walking down Tyler Hero all the way to the paint. Just because Tyler Hero, he's not strong. He's not strong, but the Heat do a great job converging. You see Ware keeping an eye on him. Duncan Robinson's there to help. And then because of the great pressure by Duncan, they do force what ends up being a shot clock violation on the Detroit Pistons. So this was just a well-timed it looks like the Heat might even be in a little bit of zone after the switch here too. Because they're not in a zone to start because they got Khalil Ware up top here. But then it looks like they kind of switch into a zone right here with Duncan Robinson a little bit in the middle. But I guess it's because he sees that he might need help on Cade Cunningham. But anyways, it's a greatly timed help by Duncan Robinson because by the time Tobias Harris gets the ball, there's no chance at that. But yeah, anyways then. This is where the Tyler Hero will go to tie the game, and I thought this was a great play by Tyler Hero here. He's gonna be guarded by, is that Jalen Duran on him? Yeah. So he sees the big on him. A lot of times, what these guards do when they see a center on them is they jack up a three because they think with a step back they could create enough space because the big can't contest. That's stupid. Make the big dance with you. Try to get him moving, then use that wobbliness of the defender to try to blow past him, get to the rim. Or do what Tyler Hero did this possession where he has Durant dancing with him. You see he completely blows past him. He's all out of sorts right now. So an easy pump fake gets the defender jumping. And D Wade looking just like our guy, or Tyler Hero looking just like D Wade, as I was going to say. Again, let me relax a little bit. I'm not saying he's D Wade, But D-Wade was excellent at this right here. That little pump fake in the midi, jumping into the defender. This was an amazing play by Tyler Hero. What stars will do late in the game is get to the free throw line. And I'm not saying Tyler Hero was a star, but I'm saying this was a star-like play. And if I'm going to criticize him for a lot of his other stuff, I want to give him credit for this because I thought he read that beautifully. And then, of course, Tyler Hero would end up tying the game. And with the last possession left, 5 seconds to go, I think this is good defense. I really do. We all know the ball is going to Cade Cunningham. Haywood Highsmith is active on Tim Hardaway here. They have 2 bodies on Cade. Bam does a great job staying with him, giving him no airspace whatsoever. With a tie game, there's still 3 seconds left. Bam has no idea if Cade's going to drive, stay at the 3. It puts Bam in a difficult position. And to get this kind of contest, I think that's a decent contest. It really is. And then when the guy banks it in, we all know that's luck. It really is. So I'm not going to be mad at Bam on this one. Even on this part right here, you see Malik Beasley trying to come to set the screen on Bam. Bam has no problem giving it right through that. Khalil Ware is doing a decent job on Jalen Duran. Why Jaime Hawkins is in the game, I don't know. I guess they don't have any better defenders healthy at this point. I'd love to see Drew Smith and Davion in the game at the same time when Drew Smith gets healthy next year. We'll see if that ever gets to happen. But yeah, this is good defense. I think Bam times it perfectly. But Cade banks it in. That's the luck of the draw. But anyways, that's all I got to say for this video. I just kind of wanted to break down that last game so we could see what the hell happened. So I hope y'all enjoyed. If you did, make sure to leave a like and subscribe because all the support is greatly appreciated. The Heat do play the Houston Rockets tomorrow where they'll look to avoid their 10th straight loss. But I'll see y'all after that game. Peace out, everyone.
Look, pull up in your city trying to get that dead face. Do it on my own, I don't need no dead weight. Had to kill him off, yeah, I need a head space. You know this homegrown bitch don't offend me.